John was working in his science lab, got blasted by gamma rays. Now he's Smash Trivia John, always smashing. He's friends with Ruffalo, crushing on Maslany, and also Sydney Sweeney. John's here saying, hello my gamma friends, welcome to the show, the Gamma Analysis Podcast.
Smash.
Hello, my Gamma friends. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, or Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia. All the way along with the big old green head in the profile picture. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, I'm going to review everything all the movies, TV shows, and also random other geeky films. Hope you enjoy Smash Trivia Presents the Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening, please do sign for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. Now let's smash right into this episode. Today's episode is a review of James Gunn's Superman, and with Tanner Slavin, and Ty and Geek from Twitter. How you two doing today?
Great.
Doing good, yeah.
I'm so excited to be able to talk about this film. I loved this film so much.
Oh, me too.
I think this is going to be, for people, this may almost be a boring podcast.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I loved the hell out of every second of this movie. I have my issues with it, of course, and, we'll obviously cover those. But
yeah,
as a Superman fan, I walked out going, oh, wow, that's exactly what that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I've actually got like a really funny story about the movie in general. Because so I had seen it. I saw an IMAX first possible screening I could go to because it was awesome. But then like a couple days later, some of my friends that I used to live near, but now I don't, went to see it. And then one of them texted me right after he got out of the showing saying, Tanner, I finally understand why you like Superman so much. And I'm like, yes, because that movie was just exactly why I love Superman so much.
Oh yeah. It understands the character. It understands that comics are goofy and ridiculous
and colorful.
Yeah, and colorful.
Very colorful.
I love color.
It's it really does feel like a cartoon in live action, and that's I think how comic book movies should feel.
Well, I think that one of the things that was really telling was I looked at the people that went to the set, because James Gunn did have some writers and artists come to the set. I thought it was interesting that all the guys he had were Triangle era guys, like Jerry Ordway, Dan Jurgens. Those were the guys that he had go to the set, and I thought, ooh, I'll bet that's the movie he's going to try and make. And that's exactly what Gunn made, is the Triangle era, which for people that don't know is the era where each issue of each title would kind of feed into the next, and you'd follow the triangles to know what was in order.
I think that they did just such a great job with everything, like the casting, like David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnan, and Nicholas Hoult. They all did so well with as these characters. When I've been watching interviews with David Cornsweet, and like his vibe in interviews is exactly how I think a Superman actor should be acting when he talks about the role. I don't want to like really get into like the toxic comparisons with previous actors, but like there are definitely some previous actors that I never got that vibe when watching them in interviews. He feels like he's passionate about this role,
and you can really feel it on screen too.
Yes, absolutely.
He's probably the dorkiest Superman that we've had,
and I love it.
Oh, absolutely, I do too. I think that's exactly how it should be. He is definitely the Superman where it's like Yeah, you were, and I like that's explicitly, of course, a very key text of the film is that he was uncool.
Mhm.
And Corn Sweat has that. It's funny that he's actually from Philadelphia because he has that middle America vibe so down pat.
Mhm.
But he's just perfect. Like you just look at this guy and you're like, yeah, that's Superman. And and then Brosnahan was almost ludicrous perfect casting, which I knew from the moment that I'd seen her in anything. I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, okay, I see how she would wind up playing this role. And boy, yeah, she's perfect. She
I
has
yeah.
she has the fight.
I think that all three of Corn Sweat, Brosnahan, and Holt just immediately shot up to like the highest points of my rankings of the iterations of the characters.
Mhm.
Um, if not number one.
Yeah,
For like all three of them. I was completely blown away by all three of those performances. I thought they just really captured the spirit of the characters and just really understood the assignment.
I'm going to say that I have been following Holt since About a Boy, which I saw in a theater in 2002, and thought, okay, I love this movie. This kid, I hope I get to see him doing work like in the future. I didn't see Lex Luthor in his future, but wow, yeah,
Yeah.
long way from that. But he is, certainly with the menu, he showed, oh, he's definitely got this in him.
Mhm.
And the fact that he was in the running for Superman and lost it,
That was just the cherry on top.
it's perfect.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Because
But
that just
also,
kind of sums up Lex Luthor. Like deep
mhm,
down, he wants to be Superman. And so he can channel that hate into the performance.
but at the same time, I can't imagine Holt doing getting. I can't imagine it going any other way than these three. And
Agreed.
Holt is the first time that I think I've really been scared by Lex Luthor on screen. Like
Yeah.
like Gene Hackman was doing pre-crisis Luthor, so he was campy, and that's fine.
Mhm.
That's the character. Kevin Spacey was doing I don't know what the hell that was, and I don't want to know. And
I
then
don't
Yeah.
think anybody really wants to know anything about Kevin Spacey anymore.
Yeah, no,
no.
definitely
But
not.
even then we didn't. Even then it was like, what is this? And then, you know, all I'm gonna say about Eisenberg is I don't really consider that Lex Luthor. It's kind of that simple. It's like that's not really the character. So, but Holt is he's swaggering, he's intense, he's simultaneously confident and unsure of himself.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's an insane performance, and I love it. And he's just great in the part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think like with Lex Luthor, or it's really hard for me to pick a favorite between in Nicholas Holt, Michael Rosenbaum, and
Mhm.
John Cryer. I think they all do
Ooh, I like John
such
Cryer.
Yeah,
such good
Cryer's good,
performances as
Yeah.
Luther.
and we
Another
we
one I
Um,
really like, another one I really like is I'm gonna butcher this last name, but Michael Kudlitz. He played him on
yeah.
Superman and Lois. He was probably the first Lex Luthor I was ever scared of.
Oh, he's good.
Um,
He's good.
but
You're right.
he's really good too. But yeah, I also love Nicholas Holt, and I'm a sucker for Gene Hackman's performance, and I only recently started to really appreciate that performance. Um, but he was funny, and I liked that.
I will say that I love that Rosenbaum has a quick vocal cameo in this movie.
Yes.
oh yeah, it's so good. I love that the plot of this film very much centers around crypto for a good portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think that is such a fun thing to do, and like having Superman and trying to save crypto like that really humanizes Superman,
Yeah.
and having him particularly going to save an animal like
Mhm.
that's I love that.
I have a quick question. Are we going into spoilers in the review?
Yes, we're
Okay, cool. Because I
we're
just wanted
spoiling.
to mention my favorite one of my favorite lines in the entire movie is in this plot that we're talking about right now. when Superman tells Lois Lane that he's going to get him he's going to turn himself in, and she's like, why? And he's like, maybe they'll take me to wherever they took the dog. She's like, the
Mhm.
dog? He's like, yeah, and he's not a particularly good one, but he's alone and he might be scared. So, and I just that part is just, I got so excited hearing that,
You
because I'm like, that is exactly the compassion that Superman has for everybody. And like, yeah, Crypto throughout the beginning of the movie is very much a naughty dog. I love him. I can't call him a bad dog because I just love him, but he is a very naughty dog, causing Superman lots of problems. But he's still going after him because he believes that not even Crypto would deserve that, because Crypto is really innocent in all this.
and you
Mhm.
can't underestimate how much that gets the audience on your side, where it's like the plot
Absolutely.
is the hero goes to save a dog. As we all know, one of the biggest action franchises going started with killing a dog. So
You're
Yep.
right. Yeah.
if you just that simple touch of a pet, and I think that's the thing. One of the big things that I've always heard people say is that Superman as a character is too alien, too distant, too foreign, and too powerful, too above us. And I love that James Gunn just goes, nope, to all of that. And I mean, I knew this was going to be a strong script going in because James Gunn is just an absolutely brilliant writer.
Yeah.
But wow, he swung for the fences here.
Oh yeah.
I love Superman's speech at the end about being human. Because like that just, it really shows this is just such a human version of Superman, even though he's still an alien. And I think my favorite part of that whole speech though is at the end when he extends that olive branch to Lex Luthor, being like, it's also your greatest strength, because I just think that also is something that encompasses this character and his empathy, and like the fact that he sees good in everybody, no matter if they see it in themselves or not. Superman still thinks that if Lex wanted to, he could do good. He could be good.
I definitely believe that James Gunn read All Star Superman while writing the script. I definitely believe that
Yeah,
was on his table of that was he probably had a copy at his side at all times because you can see that influence. And if you're going to draw from anything, I will point
that's
out
a good one.
I will point out I love that the compact comics that are out right now for Superman
Hmm.
All Star Superman and Birthright,
Those are
because
both very good.
if you're going to send a new reader to those stories, and I want to say Loeb's Superman Batman is following pretty soon too.
Ooh, cool.
Which that's two arcs right there that got turned into animated movies that were fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I think that those are the ones that I would be like, yes, a new reader is going to read those, and they're going to want to keep going. They're both such good works. I
Mhm.
believe that those were definitely an influence on this movie. Again, this definitely does not feel like a Superman movie made by people who are just dealing with the pop culture iteration. It feels like they're dealing with the actual comics. It
Mhm.
Mhm.
really is, because I'm interested. Openness. I was unemployed from April until this Monday coming up, and one of the things I did was read Superman in the '90s, and I just read it straight through every issue, and this felt like that.
Oh yeah.
Another comic that I really, oh, I'm sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, it just I said I was just
Okay.
agreeing that
Okay,
it
sorry.
feels so comic booky
Oh yeah,
and so
absolutely.
perfectly comic.
Another comic that I think is really good for beginners, and also had like, I could feel a little bit of its influence on this film, was Superman for All Seasons.
I knew that was
Uh
what you were going to say,
yeah,
and I
that is
agree
like one of my
all the way.
all-time favorite Superman
Love it,
comics, one of
love
my
it.
all-time favorite comic books ever written.
Just
Can't
a
recommend it enough. Um
beautiful
yeah.
pastoral work. Could not recommend it enough either.
Yeah, it's like a perfect, like, it's like another really good I want to say origin story. I don't know if it fully is. I don't
It's
remember.
it's
It's been a while.
it's
Yeah,
it's
I think it
almost pre-origin for a
yeah.
lot of it, really.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's just another really wonderful story that this film did, I believe, have at least a little influence from, that I think is just like, because I just think the writing is really good and the art is beautiful, and it's just my one of my favorites. So anytime I'm talking about Superman, I want to bring that one up.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I could definitely feel a lot of lobe sale there.
Mhm.
And that's good. That's good. The stuff with the Kents, I get a little annoyed when I hear people say that they were written as dumb or rednecks. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
tell me you don't know people from that area without knowing people from, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because my wife is from a small town in Arkansas.
Mhm.
And so I've come to know people. I live in Little Rock, Arkansas. So let's not say that it's the biggest area in the world. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I know people like the Kents. And that specific scene where they're talking about where they went when they went out for dinner,
Yeah.
that is a conversation I have been in a million times with people in that area. Where they live, I know that house. I know. I like that the Kents don't live in. We're pretending it's still 1920. It's the Kents live in the modern day. They live
Yeah.
in what a real rural farm looks like, where the cows are just walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I loved that touch because that told me that Gunn had actually put some thought into his modernization.
Oh yeah.
I loved the Kents in this movie. I thought they were
Uh,
really well done.
I love Pruitt Taylor
particularly,
Vince.
particularly Kent, and I
Mhm.
loved him so much in this.
Yeah.
Um,
I like that they let
when
him be
he,
very open about his
Yeah.
feelings. So sorry, I
yeah,
didn't mean to interrupt.
yeah. But I was about to talk about his feelings as well. Like
Oh, nice.
when like when we first see him in the film, like he seems very closed off, but immediately when Clark is hurt, he just burst out crying,
Mm-hmm.
and that was so powerful. I
Yeah.
cried myself seeing that. I got teary eyed myself seeing that, and it was making me wish that I had a father like that,
It
and
well
that's
then
a good feeling to have when you're watching a movie. To
it,
wishing
Mhm.
that your father was like the one in the film.
it reminded me of my own. I'm gonna say that it absolutely reminded me of my own.
Same.
And it again, the whole lot. One of the things that I'm not seeing people talk about, it kind of frustrates me, is that people are like, well, was he distant from the Kents? And it's like, yeah, they kind of clearly imply that at multiple points in the film that he's put some distance between them. And it's one of those things where you have to have known people who they were from small towns and they tried to outrun it. They're ashamed of it. They're trying to put that past behind them. And that idea in this movie that Clark is struggling with who he was,
Hmm.
it's so well handled. It's so, again, I feel like Gunn is talking about stuff that he knows so well. And I've seen people say that it seemed that before this movie came out, that it seemed like Gunn was doing a Superman movie because he had to. No, I don't feel that at all. I think he really
No.
No.
did. He clearly needed to make this movie.
And he
He
had turned
clearly,
down Superman before.
yeah,
Um,
Well, I
so
mean,
like the
he
fact that
made
he
a
actually made it, it says
he
a lot
made a
about him.
point to release it in July, if I remember right, because
It
this
was his
month
father's
is when
birthday.
his
yeah.
birthday was.
Yeah, July 11th was his father's birthday.
Yeah.
Well, that's no. Well, then that is a beautiful way to honor your father.
Hmm.
And I just the thing about Gunn that I find fascinating is I have a copy of Lloyd Kaufman's autobiography uh, uh, that I've had for at least, I guess, at this point, 20 years now. I am aging myself so beautifully. I am just, but it's one of those things where what's interesting about it is James Gunn was the ghostwriter on that. And it's not
Oh,
even
cool.
honestly that he's the ghostwriter. He's in open conversation with Kaufman on a lot of it.
Hmm.
It's fascinating to me that Gunn has gone from the acolyte of Lloyd Kaufman to this very different thing. And I honestly feel like that's almost a text of this film is Gunn wrestling with the idea of, am I still the same guy that I was starting out? Like, I really feel like that whole debate about what is punk, it feels to me like it's Gunn recognizing that the canon that he's put behind him is a very human, very open, not particularly punk canon,
Hmm.
and wrestling with that idea of, okay, who am I now? And I think that's such an interesting subtext that he's got going there, where clearly Gunn is not at peace with it, but at the end he starts to seem like he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because this definitely, I mean, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. I love all three movies deeply.
Mm-hmm.
He just has such heart in his work, and
He
Super
does.
has it. Even Super, I think people overlook this, but Super has tremendous heart in its depiction of someone with mental illness. And I love Super. I actually saw that in the theater. And so, yeah, bizarrely enough, the comic book stuff was not the first thing I saw from him in a theater. I just, I don't know, I connect with Gunn hard. And so I'm not shocked he had this in him. I'm really not.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
No, something that I've heard people complain about, and I don't really understand this complaint because I don't think this film actually feels like the same humor as Gunn's other films.
no.
I've heard a lot of people complain that and that they think that Gunn wasn't right for this because of his style of humor. I'm like, this doesn't feel like that. This doesn't feel like he's making fun of everything. It feels like there's he just cares about all of this.
Yeah.
You know,
It's more of a Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, Carl Kessel style of humor. To be blunt, it's the comics. Like, yeah, there's humor in it, but it's the stuff with the Daily Planet where it's funny and the characters are funny, but it's all correct. It's all exactly what this material should be. And also, Superman shouldn't be dark and dour. That's just wrong.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I feel like a Superman movie is just going to have humor, especially in like with how silly some of this stuff is, because like his disguise is a pair of glasses and like hunching over, doing his hair different, doing his voice different. It's like it is like a decent disguise, especially because like you're not going to just assume that somebody you work with is Superman. But when you really look at it at face value, it is inherently silly, and lots of these like comic books get humor out of the secret identity storyline.
I have to say something, and this is a major spoiler, but did anybody else pick up that it didn't seem like it was working all that well?
Yeah.
Because at the end, Perry White asks, how long has that been going on? About 3 months. No one's fooled. No one's fooled. And I kind of like, but I like that they're all kind of like playing along.
Even though he does canonically have his hypno glasses, it still doesn't work.
Like, I mean, because that entire moment is them going, yeah, we know, we don't care. And I think that's such a perfect touch. Again, that's humor from the comics. So yeah, that's just my take on that.
I had an argument with someone on when I went on somebody else's show to talk about the film. I said I even though I understand why they wouldn't use like a phone booth, I do think I would have been cool if we had some kind of suit up moment for our Superman, and I had an argument with this guy. He suggested that he thinks that because this is Gunn's style of humor, that he would have made him suit up in a bathroom, and nobody wants to see that. I'm like, I don't think that's at all what this would what he would have done with a suit up scene.
No.
And even still, like run into a bathroom, come out as Superman. I feel like I would have seen that in the Christopher Reeves movies, you know, like the way that they would do it a lot.
It happens in the comics all the time.
Yeah, that's just like a common thing.
They were they were just like trying to particularly make a point that they think that that Gunn's humor is just toilet humor. I'm like, no.
It's like that's not all of it. There is a little bit in some of the movies, not Superman actually, but like I can think of like a couple jokes in the Guardians movies that are like that.
Yeah,
but like overall,
that fits for Guardians. That fits for Suicide Squad and Peacemaker.
But it doesn't fit for Superman, and he knows that.
Gunn was never going to put things like that in Superman.
I feel like he really understood
of Superman.
Yeah, I feel like he really understood how important this was to get right, because this is he always says this in the interviews. This is the original superhero. This is like like the foundation for every other superhero. If it wasn't for Superman, we wouldn't have people like Spider-Man or the Fantastic Four or things like that. So I feel like he really did understand the gravitas with that and how important that was to just get it right,
Well,
and deliver something accurate.
I'm gonna throw out something that has been on my mind, and it really is
Hmm.
something that's been bothering me, is the idea that I really felt like if Gunn didn't get this movie right, I just don't think the character could have come back in popular culture as a major force again. I
Yeah.
think this was the last time to really try and make a major
Um,
effort with Superman because
and
it
especially since just 10 years from now, the character's going in the public domain.
he
Hmm.
could be king.
That's going to you want to have fixed the public perception before that happens.
Mhm.
Yes.
Which because I really do believe he would have become King Arthur, he would have become Robin Hood, he would have become those IPs that are just dead because they don't work anymore. And
Mhm.
dear God, do I not have those worries anymore?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
the response to this movie has been about as thunderous of a yeah, the character's fine as it's ever going to get.
Hmm.
And I'm just again, I keep going back to the fact that this is the version I want people to be fine with. This
Yeah.
is how he should be fine.
Yeah.
This is how I've always read him in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I do have to acknowledge that there's the risk that you start to get to the pulp heroes, so to speak. Like, I think Indiana Jones, Disney can do what they want to with it. It's dead. Pulp heroes are dead. That
Hmm.
style of pulp adventure is dead. You have to accept it. It and I hate that because I'm trashing one of my absolute favorite genres. But like I wouldn't go and make a Doc Savage movie right now. I'll put it that way. And that's one of my favorite series. I think that Superman, you had to be able to prove the character was relevant for today. And that's absolutely what Gunn pulled off. One thing that I do think is funny, and I'm going to change subjects completely, but we have to talk about how much I love that this movie's plot is heavily drawn on Jimmy Olsen. His love life gets him in trouble. I've had to explain to people that that is such a common trope in the comics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Olsen's gotten way weirder than that in the comics, and
Way weirder. This
I'm
was the
very
most normal
hopeful.
woman.
Yeah. I just love that they let him be weirder than the previous movies did because like this is like normal in comparison to like getting turned into turtles all the time.
He's not
But
dating Silver Banshee here,
yeah,
which he is in the comics, and they're actually really
yep.
sweet together. But
I actually did just start those comic books because I have a trial on DC Universe
you
Unlimited
are
whatever, and
uh,
I'm very much enjoying them so far.
anyone who's listening to this, the Williamson run, you devour it. It is absolutely a blast. I love every issue of it. Oh, it's perfect. But yeah, this is normal for Jimmy Olsen. An ex-girlfriend gets him into trouble.
Hmm.
Um, and I will say that is a plot that I have some issues with.
Yeah.
I
I will
think
say
my main thing with that is I don't like the like how Jimmy is stringing her along. I think he's it feels very manipulative and how he keeps promising her that they can have a relationship, even though it's clear he doesn't want a relationship. He's just using her.
in all
Hmm.
fairness, I do think that the movie does think that he's being a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of lines where Lois especially kind of pulls him aside and goes, "You got to cut this out."
Hmm.
But I will say Skylar Gisondo is the first time that I've seen a movie where I was like, okay, that's the Jimmy Olsen from the comics that I know. He's perfect. I mean, I love the Righteous Gemstones, so I was happy to see him anyway, just because I love him on that. But yeah, he is really in the wrong here,
Absolutely.
especially because Eve is adorable and
She's
uh
so nice. She
yeah,
doesn't deserve anything that she gets in this movie.
and the actress who plays her is giving such a 1940s screwball performance where she knows the tone exactly, and it's so vintage that it's perfect. I think I have this weird thing about Gunn. I think he has issues writing women, but he's really good at directing them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, he sometimes goes a little bit into, okay, James, I get it. The pretty girls were mean to you in high school. I get it. Like, there are times that he definitely kind of goes into an unfortunate duality here where, yeah, the pretty popular girls don't get a good look, whereas Lois Lane, of course, is written perfect.
I loved
Got,
Lois Lane in this movie.
yeah, I'm gonna have a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that in a moment. But Eve, who I will point out has only appeared in the Richard Donner film, and this is not in the comics.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting pull.
I thought it was an interesting pull, but again, she's really well used. She's just she's a 40s character, and I loved that touch. And when you realize what her plot actually is, it's brilliant.
Oh
It's
yeah.
genuinely genius.
Yeah, I love even this so
Me
much.
too.
I saw something on social media today that I really thought was fun I guess like maybe like a fan convention or something. Someone asked Patty Guggenheim who played a Madison in She-Hulk
Yes.
Yeah, I saw
about
that.
about meeting if she would want to have her character meet Eve and she was like yeah
I
I'd
would
be like
watch that.
that would be
Hell out.
amazing.
I would watch that. That would be very entertaining.
I would devour that.
Yeah.
I would devour that.
Throw
And
Wong in there too.
yes.
Oh.
And I will say this: it's funny that you that She-Hulk gets brought up. That's what this really reminded me of tonally, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same tone where it's like the superhero stuff is serious, the humor is landing hard, and again, it's also a case where She-Hulk was such a perfect adaptation of its material
Yeah.
that I'm like, it's the same thing here. It's like you actually know what you're adapting. Thank you.
Yeah. And we also another similarity between the two is we got a great dynamic between cousins.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't
Yeah.
wait for that to be explored further.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I love that Millie Alcock's drunk at the Golden Globes moment has been going back around
Yeah.
because it genuinely is hysterical. You could see Emma Darcy just desperately trying to protect her
Yeah.
in that moment. And I love that it's so clear that just in a few lines that I want to watch this character. I cannot wait to watch her version.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I also love that tagline they put on that poster that they released, look out instead of look up. That really captures the tone and the difference in these two characters. I'm so excited to see that movie next year.
I remember when it was announced what Supergirl was going to be based on, and I heard people saying how this was like a very serious, dark comic, and I was like, I don't know if that's what I want for Supergirl, but as soon as I saw her in this movie and her personality in this, I was like, I was immediately on board. Because I loved how she was in this.
And you're telling me that Lobo's going to be in it, and it's
hell yes, Jason Momoa. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I am
going to have, to me, and also Craig Gillespie is like really, really good at this kind of movie. Like, this is what he's an expert at. I've been a fan of his since Lars and the Real Girl. Oh, I'm going to eat this movie up. I also think it's really good to have a Kryptonian as your next movie that you're going to do. I think it's good to keep people kind of in the same sphere. I'm really excited for that one. I think if they were smart, they'd have that poster in theaters today and probably do. Especially now that a lot of theaters have digital posts. A lot of theaters have digital poster cases, so they'll probably just get it up.
That would be smart.
I just think that they're just so clearly on to something. And I'm going to say this. I really, really love Carol Danvers. My heart is broken at what we got for the movies because I never felt like I was watching the character I loved in the comics. Because one of the things about Carol Danvers is she's a disaster as a human being. And I never got that in the movies. She had to be perfect. And I wanted the Carol Danvers who had failed and was trying to recover.
that you get a lot more of that in the Marvels than you do in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
I'm letting the first one put a little too strong of a thumb on the scale. They do. You're right that they do that more in the second one.
Mhm.
But I I want to. I like the idea of a female heroine who is just boy. There was a redundant. I'm a
Female
writer.
heroine, yeah.
I'm a writer. That's what's sad. I like the idea of someone who's kind of a failure, kind of a disaster, and who has to learn. Also, if she's just Superman, but a girl, where's the character there? And again, in just 30 seconds, Alcock told me, oh, okay, we're really going to get something special here.
Mhm.
So I'm hyped. I'm hyped. You know, for a show I don't like that much, House of the Dragon just really yields so much stuff that I love. It's funny. It's crazy.
Oh, what one thing I really want to talk about is what do you think? I think of how they just plopped us into this world that already has superheroes. It's not an story. We see other superheroes in the film. I personally really liked it. I thought that was a really good touch. What did you guys think of that?
Loved it.
I really enjoyed that. I'm glad that we don't have to like I love the MCU, especially the early MCU where they would like establish like super people slowly or whatever, but I actually really enjoyed being plopped into the middle of a world where superhumans
Mhm.
have existed for like what 300 years.
Yes.
That's really cool. I loved the whole text drop at the beginning. I don't know how to take that is, but I really liked it. Something about reading 3 minutes ago, Superman lost a battle for the first time, just kind of really got me into the movie. But I just love that we can have like Green Lantern pop up and we don't need to really explain it too much.
Yes.
And like yeah, I'm kind of losing what I'm saying here, but I really
No.
liked I really liked getting thrown into the middle of this world because like yeah, we don't need to see the Superman origin story again. I said the same thing about Spider-Man before people misunderstood what Homecoming was doing, but that's another story. Um but yeah, we don't need to see Krypton explode again. We don't need to see everything like that. Everybody knows the basic Superman stories, so we can just kind of get right into the action of it, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Oh yeah.
I really did too. There's a screenwriting term for this, which is mountains, which is the idea that there's mountains off in the distance. Maybe you get there, maybe you don't.
Mhm.
The entire world that we see here is filled with mountains, and I love that we don't have an explanation of who Hot Girl is. We don't have an explanation of who Metamorpho is.
Mhm.
We don't have an explanation of anything about Mr. Terrific. He's a tech genius. We pick that up.
Yep.
We don't pick up anything about Guy Gardner, except he's a Green Lantern. He's got the ring. He does the constructs. Next. By the way, I love that Nathan Fillion has now played two Green Lanterns
Yeah.
because he was
He was Hal Jordan in one of those
he was Hal
animated
Jordan.
things.
A
Yeah.
lot of them. He was actually in a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
Justice League Doom is probably his best performance.
I love that one.
That's Dwayne McDuffie. It's based on Tower of Babel.
Mhm.
I highly recommend it if you get the chance. It's 75 minutes.
Oh, it's great. I've seen it. I love
It's
it.
great. But he's really good there. He gets to play a very doubting Hal Jordan. He's in Emerald Knights, and then he's in a couple of the mainline ones, which I actually come to think of it, because he was in The Death and Return of Superman, means I've now seen Nathan Fillion play a Green Lantern twice at the same theater.
Oh,
So
fun.
that was kind of cool, because I did see, like I said before we recorded, I did see Death and Return of Superman when they did the Fathom event for it,
Nice.
Oh, cool.
which was so good. Looked gorgeous. Like I said, I love that. Yeah, it's shorthand. We figure it out,
Yeah.
and it's show don't tell. This movie is basically a model of show us, don't tell us.
Mhm.
Keep the exposition down, because it keeps the movie going. That's why I think people have said that the movie was overstuffed, is because so much of it is showing instead of told. It just means that Gunn got to go quickly.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I also just love with like having these other superheroes here is it really embraces the idea that you don't have to do everything on your own. And
Mm.
I think that's something that a lot of superhero projects don't understand is and as an idea is like you can have friends help you when you have a problem, and so I love that all of that they included something like that here. Like other superheroes can just show up and help out. Uh, Superman is feeling down because his dog was kidnapped. Well, the Justice is gang can come and deal with the giant eye creature outside while he's feeling sad.
I loved
Uh,
everything about that sequence because
Yeah,
the scene, the dialogue between him and Lois was beautiful. But then
yeah,
every so often you'd cut to the back and it'd be like something insane is going
yeah.
on in the
Like a giant
background.
baseball bat smacking it.
Oh,
I love the way they dealt with this is somewhat off topic, so sorry. But this is I love the way that they dealt with like super big threats in Metropolis and the way a lot of people were kind of nonchalant about it, specifically in that scene and also in the kaiju fight when you cut to Lois and Kat talking. There's this huge kaiju fight on the news, and Kat that does not stop Kat from just talking about what she's talking about, not paying any mind because it's Metropolis. This kind of thing happens all the time. That's just what it's like living in this city.
the
Everyday
people
occurrence.
Yeah.
the people taking selfies with it.
Yes.
It's one of those things where it gives the movie a lived-in feel.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the things that's been frustrating watching people try to set up universes is they have to do all the groundwork and make you see all these things that they're setting up, and it's backbreaking and it's exhausting. And I love
Hmm.
that this movie just goes, here, you're in it. We haven't seen the first 3 years of Superman's career.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see it in a tie-in project or something. We don't need to.
It's like this
We
world existed before you and it will
Uh,
continue to exist after you.
you know,
it's
it's like with there's the Batman first 3 years comic. That wasn't the first ever Batman comic to come out. That was something
no.
that a long time later came out.
Hmm.
It's just it makes it all feel because I'm going to be honest, the way that I started reading comics and the way that everyone starts reading comics is you're dropped in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No one started reading at issue 1. I
That's
don't
just
know
like
what
really tricky to even do.
I don't know what my first issue of I don't know what my first Spider-Man comic was. I don't know what my first Superman comic was. I have no idea because I've just been reading them my whole life. I mean, I remember when I started avidly reading, but like even when I started avidly reading, it was like Daredevil, Guardian Devil, and Parts of a Whole, which are not the first Daredevil stories.
Hmm.
They're deep into Daredevil's run. Uh, my first Spider-Man stories were not the first ones. That's what this movie captures is that feeling.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
It's funny how constantly I have to keep going to this movie feels like a comic book, but that's just the baseline it always lands at.
I think that's like the best thing a comic book movie can do,
Yeah.
And
is to
it's
feel like a
kind of
comic book.
sad that not all comic book movies feel like they're comics.
Yeah. I have that problem with Christopher Nolan's Batman movies. I feel like I would get a lot of hate for these takes on them. But like it's just not my ideal version of the character because it doesn't feel like a comic book really.
They're
That's why I prefer like other adaptations, iterations.
they're good movies, but they're good Christopher Nolan movies based
Yeah.
on Batman. Is how the way that I would put it is they're 5-star movies based on Batman, but they're not Batman movies.
Hmm.
That's just kind of the odd quirk of them. Whereas I thought Matt Reeves' Batman was Batman,
Yeah,
and
I really liked that take on the character.
yeah, and all I'm going to say about that is, come on, Gunn, do the smart thing. That's all I'm saying there. That's all I'm saying there.
I actually don't want them to put Battinson in the
Yeah, I do. I
DCU.
do.
I want them to embrace a more or fantastical Batman for the
That would be
DCU.
nice. That would be nice.
Just
I f
like let him feel comic booky, and I don't. And to me, I don't think the Matt Reeves Batman feels comic booky. I feel like it feels to me like they want to make it as grounded and realistic as possible, and
Mm.
that's just not who the Batman who Batman and his villains should be to me.
I'll say this: put Robin in, because as someone pointed out
Please,
today, Robin only
please.
started 11 issues after Batman.
Yeah. Like
Please
Batman's
fix this.
barely a solo act. People always act like he has to always work alone, but he has a huge family of people supporting him.
Oh.
Robin is the least you can do. I think that every
Yeah,
Batman
And
adaptation needs a Robin.
I agree.
I'm pretty sure they're both gonna have Robin in the Batman film, and they also, if I remember right, announced just separate film that's particularly about the
It
Batman.
Yeah,
is.
the
It
dynamic
is.
duo movie.
Yeah,
And it's
Brave and Bold.
gonna be a
Brave and Bold.
Oh
very
yeah, Batman too.
strange thing because as it is like mixing in multiple styles of animation and live
Yeah.
action,
Yeah.
and
Oh
I
yeah.
I'm
don't know
really
Yeah.
what
There's
it's
interested
different
in
gonna
it.
ones.
be.
Yeah.
I don't
I know
even
what
know
you're
if
talking
it's
about.
going to
Yeah.
be canon or not. Like, I mean, it's going
It's
to be
not.
canon
It's
to
not going to
itself.
be. It's going to be
Yeah,
canon
probably
to
not.
itself. It's going to be
That's what
its
I
own
was
weird
thinking, but
thing.
people
I don't
keep
know.
telling me it's going to be DCU, and I'm like, I
No,
could have sworn they said it was going to be its own
I
thing.
thought they
it's going to be
said
its
it
own
was
thing.
GCU, but I don't know.
We'll see.
All I know is it's DC Studios.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I will. I will say this. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what it is I'm trying to say here. I'm stuttering here. Um, should we get to the elephant in the room, the tricky conversation that you'd warned us about? Because
yeah.
I kind of want to have that one.
So they they we have this have Superman and getting in the middle of this conflict like between Barovia and
Jar
Johansson or something.
Jarhanpur?
Jarhanpur.
Jarhanpur. That's
Darnpor.
it, right. I always get
Um
the names wrong, so
yeah, they're it's hard to pronounce those names. Um but and it's so obviously based on Israel's genocide of Palestine.
It is. It
And
is. I argued for a moment it wasn't, but it is.
yeah.
It's
I
absolutely
don't,
that.
and I'm so conflicted on how I feel about it.
I think I think it's an interesting situation where I think Gunn thought less about it than the people that are responding to it are. And
Mhm.
that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. I wish he put
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
more thought into it, because when you are dealing with a real life issue, you do need to be very careful with it.
Mhm.
At the same time, I also think that it's interesting that because I think he was so subconsciously thinking about it, boy, does he really. The fact that Israeli, that Zionists are angry about it
Mhm.
is fascinating. But then there is the complicated fact of Skylar Gisondo is a hardcore Zionist.
yeah,
Mhm.
There's the fact that he said that he wanted Adria Arjona possibly to be Wonder Woman. She's also a hardcore Zionist. Hate to break that to a lot of people, because a lot of people don't seem to know that, but she is.
yeah.
But it is frustrating because, to be honest, when you look at who is a hardcore Zionist, it's a lot more people than it should be.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda is a
I think
hardcore
it's
Zionist. That's wrong.
it's so weird that that he would make such a damning portrayal of Israel, but then he also wants to work with these people who are Zionists.
I
But
think
then again,
it's
I kind of wonder if it's simply like he doesn't care about the views of the people he works with.
probably not.
Since
It's just
I think
business.
he said something like that before.
yeah, like
Yeah.
and and this isn't the only time he's done saying he's put an actor in saying where the film is particularly against our film, but their a TV show where it's particularly against their views is Robert Patrick is a right wing actor, and they had him play a peacemaker's father, the right wing racist piece of shit.
I am fascinated by that.
I didn't even know that's why he was good at playing that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's wild. Wild. Like I don't know. It's such a weird situation to me. Like he's willing to work with these people, but it's so clear that he has a very leftist point of view for
Yeah,
what he does
yeah.
with his films.
for sure.
It is, and it's one of those things where it runs through all of his work. Where
Yeah.
it's not even that he's like, oh, I'm a liberal. It's that Gunn genuinely does have some very leftist views. I
Mhm.
mean, he made a Guardians of the Galaxy movie that is hardcore animal rights,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing to me. By the way, trying to square that floor, that poor traumatized bunny from 3 has anything to do with Cat Grant does not work for me mentally. I'm like, I cannot connect that there is any connection
Same
in these
actor,
two characters. Yeah, and I've seen some other voice work that she's done. She does not play characters that look like herself. I find that fascinating. But I'm fascinated by, I don't know. But here's the thing though. It is such a tricky business, and I don't know. Again, the thing that I'm bothered by is I do think that Gunn uses the imagery a little too flippantly. I think he uses it a little too flagrantly. I think that if a certain filmmaker that we have conspicuously avoided bringing up so far was going to use 9/11 imagery, I think Gunn deserves to also be called out for going, dude, you're using Israel-Palestine imagery. Have you thought this through?
Such I like how I'm feeling about it with like being so conflicted is like on one side I love how much it's pissed off
Hmm.
people who are pro-Israel.
yeah.
Same.
Oh, but on the other
Same.
side I'm like it doesn't feel like it's him particularly trying to call out this awful thing that's happening in the world. It feels more like he just wanted a fun storyline. And he was like, "Oh, that works." Arcs to make the backdrop of it,
Yeah.
and
I don't
so
know.
that's where I feel that's
I don't
where I'm
know.
like so
I do
conflicted with
think
it.
that I do think it I don't know. I kind of thought it was a little bit trying to call like attention to it and denounce it in a way because of the fact that you have Superman who is this just like this epitome of goodness and always trying to do the right thing so vehemently against what's going on there that it does kind of feel a little bit to me at least whether or not it was executed well is anyone's is another thing, but it does feel a little bit like it is trying to say something about it, I think. But because you have this character who's forever been like associated with doing the right thing and making good choices so against um this genocide happening, I don't know, I just think it says at least a little something.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I
it
agree.
and at least it is in it again. I'm going to go back to this. It is like the comics. It is
Yeah.
something that the comics would do. I will say
Also,
this.
interesting fact, sorry to interrupt, but interesting fact is that the fictional country of what was it?
Boravia.
Boravia
Borav-
predates Israel.
yes, it
Mhm.
does. Yes, it does. I love that.
Uh,
I love that.
so
I go on.
I was gonna say is that thing is I personally really like when there's when they put stuff in sign to particularly call sign out.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But I think the thing about like I love Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the way that calls out racism
Hmm.
in America and in the government, but this does not feel like that at all. At all. It doesn't feel so strongly. We're trying to make a message here. We're trying to tell you this is a bad thing. It feels like it
It's a
almost
backdrop.
feels, yeah. It almost feels too goofy for the way that they present it.
And I think that's why maybe I don't think Gunn was even really thinking it through. I think he was and I think that's the thing that a lot of artists do. A lot of artists, when you point out to them, "Oh my God, do you realize what you're doing?" Sometimes they don't. I've alluded very clearly to the fact that I do writing as a hobby, as
Hmm.
do a lot of us, and there are things in my fiction that I look back at and I'm like, I didn't realize I was saying that about myself. It's interesting. I think Gunn probably really didn't. I think he really thought he was doing just a generic invasion story. And the problem is that when you do that, you can't help but go, okay, well,
Uh,
what's the images that I've seen? And it just winds up creating a tricky situation.
mhm. Yeah. And I will say I've as the time's gone on, I've really warmed up to it mainly because of I've seen how annoyed it's caused people who are Zionists to be, and also also because as a very left leaning pro Palestine content creator that I like watching, Hassan Piker, or he talked about it, and he was thrilled with how they did it, and I could and the way he talked about it really got me more on the side of this is a good thing that
At least
they
it's not
got.
both sides. At least it's not both
Oh
sides
yeah,
in it. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
it's
And I mean, the commentary that Moravia is having arms funded to them by the U.S. government for their own purposes. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to call that some pretty good political commentary there.
Yeah.
the thing that's really interesting me about it, outside that is particularly with how they did the story is they have stuff in it that I absolutely don't think is intentional, but works so well, which is so they have Lex Luthor, or he has a deal with them to basically he gets as part of this land, and once
Mhm.
they've destroyed it all, and that feels so obviously like what Trump said earlier this
Mhm.
year,
Yeah.
and I think that's so interesting because like this film would have been already filmed before that happened.
Yeah.
Well, but that's been a talking point for years. In all fairness, that's been a talking point for years. I've been studying. I mean, the fundamental goal of these people is they want to bring on the biblical apocalypse. Let's be blunt. That's why Christian Zionists exist. Is they want to bring on the literal end times.
Yeah,
I wish I was making any of that up, but I've done too
yeah,
deep of a
I know
dive into the left.
it's
I've done
sad.
a full dive into the Left Behind books, and they are creepy as hell. They are very creepy, I
It's
will tell you.
it's like it's very sad that the people of Israel, they like that Christians are on their side, even though Christians are only on their side to bring about their death in the
Well,
apocalypse.
well, that's because they are getting what they want in the short term, and they don't believe the long term is
Yeah.
ever going to happen. So it's just that simple. But I don't know.
Yeah. Now a character that I thought was I really enjoy in the film that I didn't really know what to expect because I've never read any of his comics is Metamorpho. I
Oh, I
enjoyed
love
him in the
Me
Metamorpho.
film.
too.
Love Metamorpho.
I
I
was
love the
I was
comics.
really surprised that they never called him Metamorpho though.
Yeah, they only really
Yeah.
alluded to his
They
name.
called him the Element Man instead.
Mm. Or
And I
I
don't
think
know
he
if
gets
that's ever
Rex
been signed that
once.
he's been called in
Oh yeah, he
the
gets Rex a
comic.
couple of times, and then
Yeah.
they say he can metamorphize
Yeah.
things, which
And
is the
then
closest we get to his name.
in the end credits, his partner is explicitly listed as Sapphire Stag, which that made me happy.
Yeah. I
Because
know we see like a stag building in the
we do,
background too.
we do.
They go
Uh,
into it, I think.
Again, mountains, good mountains
Yep.
there. I will say, I do think it's funny that Anthony Kerrigan basically repeated his performance from Bill and Ted Face the Music. It's literally the same character. It's the same performance. It's the same stuff. And you know what? I don't care. It was perfect for Metamorpho, where it's kind of like this. He's doing the work of the villain, but he's sweet and he's likable. And
Hmm.
Kerrigan is so good. And I'm not going to complain that he brought that performance back because that performance was awesome in Bill and Ted. It's awesome here. I loved
Yeah.
Anthony Kerrigan here. He was great.
Another thing from while we're in the other dimension that I love, and it does so much for Lex's character, even though it's a short sight gag, is how to really he pushes hate for Superman. He has
The monkeys.
monkeys at kids'
Yes.
computers literally typing troll messages online.
That was
God,
so funny, and I thank James Gunn every day for that because now we have reaction gifs to use when people are being really stupid and mean.
forever, forever. And gee, I wonder if Gunn was venting anything with that.
Yeah.
It knowing Gunn's history, knowing that. By the way, I
Hmm.
love the fact that the end result of all of these trolls doing that to him was he got to make Guardians 3 in the end. He
Yeah.
got to make the Suicide Squad. He got
And
to
now
make
he's the CEO
Superman.
of DC.
He could not have won over them anymore.
hmm
Was that obviously him venting a petty slight? Yes. Was he allowed to? Yes. Was it
Yeah.
perfect? Yes. This is, man, I want to get back to just how perfect Luthor was, because he
Yeah.
was so petty.
He was so
Yes.
petty. He was the biggest hater I've ever seen. Like, and that's exactly what Lex Luthor is. So it was very,
Just,
very fun to
It's
watch
so,
that.
and like when he kills the guy in the other
Yeah.
which is
dimension,
shocking.
Yeah, that was crazy.
it's so dark,
Yeah.
but I couldn't help but laugh when that happened
Oh,
because
it
it's
Really?
just so perfect when Lex
because he
and it's so over
he
the
doesn't
top.
care too. He's like,
No, he doesn't. They all start laughing it off.
again, this is where Holt, you just really appreciate that. I mean, because keep in mind, in his last movie, he played a juror who discovers he committed a murder, and he was also playing someone who was weirdly casual to human life. He's really good at this. The Menu, he was also someone who really did not care that he was getting someone killed. Holt is really good at playing people who do not care. And he just sells. Again, he sells the pettiness. I like, by the way, that this is the first Lex Luthor that we've ever seen that is explicitly very sexual. Aside from Michael Rosenbaum's version and John Shea. John Shea did it on Lois and Clark. But this is the first time we've had it in the movies where this is a Lex Luthor that is a ladies' man, because that's so central to him in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they brought that over, that he has a girlfriend who blogged about him, so he imprisons her in his interdimensional prison. I'm going to jump subjects here, though, because I've got to talk about Mr. Terrific and how Edie Gathegi finally got to kill off the Darwin thing.
Yeah, thank God, because that was still an insane thing to happen.
Which is annoying because he was in Twilight as the dreadlocked vampire, and he was cool as hell in that. I loved every second of Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific was the MVP.
Like, and not only do I love his performance, but I also love just the fact that that Mr. Terrific has gotten so much popularity from this film. As someone who used to watch the Arrowverse, I always liked Mr. Terrific on Arrow, and it is so it was so cool to see now Mr. Terrific getting all this this popularity from people in the general audience.
What he reminded me of in this was a cowboy almost. Like, he just comes in, he does his own thing. I think it's partially that deep voice that he had. He's just so effortlessly cool. He's so good. He knows what he's doing. I love that he's a tech genius.
Yeah.
We believe he's a tech genius because we see it, but we don't have him talking in techno babble.
Yeah, because he's smart enough to know to speak at a level everyone else is going to understand.
I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that.
Is just the coolest line. Everything about that character was so awesome.
It really worked. He was very cool.
They're talking about maybe giving him a solo series. I will watch it.
I would watch it. I will tune into every episode of Mr. Terrific.
I would absolutely do it. Again, I love that that's now how he's going to be seen in comic book movies.
Yeah.
And he'll definitely be showing up again.
Yeah, he signed a multi-picture deal.
Yeah, and I expect that Gunn's going to use it because the character
is so popular now, and that's so cool.
You know, we've seen in like the trailers for Peacemaker, both Hawkgirl and
Green Lantern,
Green Lantern will appear. I wonder whether Mr. Terrific will be there too.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I really kind of feel like at the beginning of the season, they're probably gonna have a reworked version of the Justice League scene from last season, but it will be the Justice Gang and our new Superman instead.
I could see that.
That would be cool.
I'll say this: I liked Sean Gunn's real quick appearance as Maxwell Lord. That was cool. He got a good joke in. I'm sold on this version of him. I just, again, it's just one of those things. It is a movie. I love the tiny appearance by Beck Bennett, Steve Lombard. I love
Yeah.
that because Bennett was it. You could.
Oh,
You cut it all off again.
yes, we
Uh,
lost you. So sorry.
yeah, I was saying that because Beck Bennett is such good shorthand for bumbling idiot. I
Mhm.
mean, he was Launchpad for the love of God.
Oh my God, he was.
He was Launchpad in
Cut off
the
again.
show, and the original show was my everything as a kid, DuckTales.
Mhm.
Seriously, I love the reboot DuckTales
I love
so
the
much.
reboot. It's so good.
Oh.
First to last. But I love Bennett's work here. I love that he's shorthand again.
Mhm.
Movie so well, and yeah, I don't have much more to say about it than that. The
Mhm.
casting's perfect.
Well, going back a little bit to my idea of having the Justice Gang for and Peacemaker, I think that's not only a good idea to do that just because it'll be a fun scene.
Yeah.
I also think that having that scene there as a flashback will really help with the like showing us why when Peacemaker appears in Superman, it's very clear Superman does not
Hmm.
like him, and they can have that they had a bad interaction in that scene, and that's why Superman doesn't like him now.
I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
Did love Cena's cameo. Did love Cena's cameo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not see that one coming, which is kind of funny because you can't see him. But I was dying with laughter. I remember my brother who watched it with me, when he showed up, like basically turned to me and said, "Who let him on TV?"
Oh man. You know, what are some funny moments you guys like really love from the film? One for me that I really like is when they when we see a in Lex's his cage for him,
Oh
and
yeah,
he's like how do you trap
a super
a
dog.
super dog? You put flying super squirrels in front of him.
Perfect.
It's, that was hilarious.
And again, it's such a comic book touch.
It
It's
is. It
just
really is. Everything in the Pocket Dimension really felt comic booky.
Oh
Everything in the
yeah.
movie felt comic booky, but especially there. Something
someone
that
has
I
asked.
thought was funny. Oh, what's
Go
up?
on. I was just gonna say, someone has said now, is James Gunn the best comic book movie director ever? And I'm not saying no.
I'm starting to agree. Yeah, there's only one comic book property that he worked on that I just didn't really click with, which was Creature Commandos. Um, but Guardians, all great. Suicide Squad, I love. Superman might be my favorite thing he's ever done. So he's in that
Same.
conversation for me. Anyway,
Yeah.
another like this is like a total like throwaway thing that's not even really a gag. It's just like a little Easter egg part of the mountains thing we were talking about. Um, when everybody's evacuating the city at the end, there are people evacuating to Gotham City, and I'm like, why would you go to Gotham City willingly? I would not want to step foot in
Mm,
Gotham City.
no, it's a good touch. It's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what else? What's another like good gag that they had? Um, Anything with crypto was hilarious.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love like at the end with Kara, when he's like pouncing on her and she's just giggling, and then like Superman's like, see, that's why he has behavioral issues.
Oh yeah.
Mm. I also love the sentiment of kindness being the real punk rock. I don't know, that really
Oh yeah.
resonated with me
I think that was the perfect way to sell Superman to a new generation.
for sure.
Mhm.
It's, and I think that that's been the thing that the character has been at odds with is how do you get people to see what the virtue of this character is.
Hmm.
I love the movie sends us out on Iggy Pop's voice of all people. That
Yeah.
is, if you're going to say that, like, I love that they have Superman when he's listing the bands that he grew up on.
Hmm.
I love that one of them was fake and one of them was POD, which is a case where it's a joke inside of a joke because, yeah, they were Christian rock, but they were Christian rock that scored the Matrix Reloaded at the end. So they weren't without their value, is what I'm saying. I like
Hmm.
POD. I liked POD a lot. And Sleeping Awake is a badass track. Love that song. I just, yeah, that whole idea of kindness as punk.
At this point, it kind of is
It
because I've
is.
seen people talking about this on social media a lot. Where punk is all about going against the machine, going against like the norms or whatever. And as a society, we have grown so cynical and so self-centered that kindness really is the real punk rock right now. It's the thing that's like anti everything that is mainstream because just people aren't nice to each other anymore and they ought to be, you know?
And it's why this was the perfect character to do that with. It's why
Absolutely.
this was, again, Gunn figured out how do you make Superman relevant, and he couldn't have crushed it more. I will point out this movie is having unprecedented levels of box office this year. Like,
Yeah.
it's having the best non-holiday Monday, the best non-holiday Tuesday. I think it could very easily drop under 50% next weekend.
That's what it's projected right now. It's
It's
projected like a 50% at the most, I think, right now. And I'm like, hell yeah, because it deserves it. It's great. I'm gonna go see it again, probably tomorrow.
I would love to see it again.
How many times have you guys seen it?
I've only seen it once.
You've seen it once?
I was gonna try and see it again, but I've had too much stuff to get
Uh,
ready for my new job.
I've seen it 3 times.
I will watch it again though.
I really want to do a Superman Fantastic Four First Steps double feature.
Oh, I am
think
going
it's
to do
going
that.
to be so. I think
I am
they will fit
100%
so
doing
well
that.
together.
I'm 100% doing that. It's going to be so fun.
Oh man, I think I might have mentioned this to you, Taryn, or when we were doing our Ironheart art
Uh-huh.
review, but like, Marvel and DC did have this year done a deal to do a new crossover comics. I really think they should have tried to make as part of the deal that they could do short crossover ads between Superman and Fantastic Four. I think that would have been so amazing to see.
It
They
would
could
have
have
been.
they could have leaned into the super fantastic summer that I'm very excited for.
Oh,
They could have.
They could have. It would have been so cool. I don't know. I would have really loved to see that.
oh, yeah, it would have been amazing, and or even simply like doing a new Superman Fantastic Four crossover comic and have at the end of it saying see both heroes on the big screen in July.
Hmm. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
The one that we've got, because the one that we have is extremely good. It's excellent. It's a really good story if y'all have never read it.
Which one?
The Superman Fantastic Four crossover from the 90s.
I want to read that.
I have the omnibus. I have the crossovers
nice.
omnibus that they did. I think there are maybe 2 or 3 not very good stories in it, and then there's like at least 4 or 5 that are some of the greatest comics ever published.
Wow, that's cool.
So, yeah.
I think what else about this film do I want to bring up?
I love that James because like James Gunn has always been really good with needle drops but I'm really glad that he showed restraint in like not doing too many because this is Superman. I feel like Superman is a movie that should be led by its score. But the 2 major ones that he did do were really well done and well placed because like both of those songs have made their way onto my my playlists now. And I've got punk rocker stuck in my head right now because we were just talking about it.
I love that Iggy Pop had to chime in on its success. Even I love, by the way, that he had to chime in on its success, not because he's decrepit in a in a home or something, but because he's on tour.
Oh yeah,
which to me
That's cool.
that only makes the relevance of the song even higher.
Yeah,
that he's still on tour, which, I mean, I don't know. A guy his age is coming to do yard work at my house tomorrow, so I don't know. Maybe it's not that. That's actually true. That's actually going to happen. Like I said, my dad's he's going to come clean up some bushes. But yeah, but I love that Iggy Pop has had to chime in on this, and he's thrilled with it. He always loved that song, and he was glad that it got a second life. I love that. By the way, I love that this is the second movie that Nicholas Hoult has been in that's had a really good Iggy Pop needle drop
Mhm.
because the Weatherman uses the passenger beautifully. But yeah, I like. I guess we have to
Oh,
discuss Krypton. I guess we do have to discuss that.
Yeah, that
yeah.
is my one and only real complaint with the movie, aside from it's mostly that. It
It felt like he wanted to redeem Brightburn a little bit.
uh-huh. It took me a while to really get on board with it. Especially like with the implications of what it means for Kara, which I'm just trusting the process that we're gonna get a little
Yeah,
bit of an explanation in Supergirl. Um, I just know that it kind of like rubbed me the wrong way at first when I first saw it, but then on second viewing, it doesn't bother me as much, and on third viewing, even less so somehow.
Mhm.
it
Probably just because everything else about the
Uh,
movie is just fantastic. So it's like I don't know, I can kind of let it slide.
yeah, I can understand it bothering people. I personally thought it was an interesting twist and really made a Clark have to decide for himself who he
Yeah.
is um and it and really makes it so that makes it so the shows how powerful a found family can be, a not just your birth parents.
Hmm.
which which yep, Gunn's been there. Gunn's been on that. But you know
He's
what? I
been
don't
doing
mind it.
found families for as long as I can remember.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you ask any writer, they all have a trope that they go to.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You
I
cut
always
off
just
again.
monster girl show up in my fiction. It's just every writer has a trope they like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A
Oh, he's cutting off again, I
Mary
think.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. Which is probably a sign that I'll need to go soon.
Understandable.
But like I said, it doesn't bother.
Yeah.
And
It
last thing that I want to really talk about for this is what would you guys want to see for a sequel?
that's a really good question. I want to see them okay, so I'm gonna sound like these two comments are gonna sound very contradictory, but I want to see them do a villain that we've never seen before, but I also want them to do more Lex Luthor. I don't necessarily need him to be the main villain
I think
again. But I think that Lex Luthor should be in like every Superman
oh
movie because
absolutely.
He
he's
I
like
has to
think
be.
that's
he's like
I
one of the best Superman
he
characters.
should just be a recurring villain.
Yeah.
And
Which is how he is in the comics,
but
even
Yeah,
when he's
he's
have
not the
in
main
so many
villain.
comics. Yeah.
have his role within in all the a more Superman films in the future be like Loki in the Thor movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's exactly how he should be.
Yeah. Because
So
I will not
that's
get tired of Nicholas Holt's portrayal.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I think what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it's very similar to Tom Hiddleston's Loki, where it's like I just like watching him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
So
that
yeah,
character's
I
on screen,
think
it's going to be interesting. What were you saying? I'm so sorry.
it's all right. What I was gonna say is what something I think would be really interesting for a sequel. Oh, since
Hmm.
it's gonna be after the Supergirl film comes out,
Yeah.
make a Superman and Supergirl film
I think
Yeah.
that's
together.
I would
I
watch
think that
that.
would be a
I think
lot of fun.
I think that's
Yes.
why Gunn is saying that it's not gonna be Superman 2. I think that's what he's
Yeah.
trying to imply is
I hope
he's
so.
and I'm just gonna say it right now. If you've read Jeff Johns' Brainiac arc, you know you could really and truly do worse than to adapt that. And I know that because I've seen an adaptation of it and it's fantastic.
Which one?
Superman Unbound,
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that was good.
that's phenomenal. And honestly, Superman Unbound, you could practically take that script, expand it, pad it out,
Hmm.
and you've damn near got the perfect plot for Superman. Honestly, it's almost scary how much that would work as a. I could recommend that to people as a sequel to this Superman movie, and
Yeah.
it would work scary well. It's that much like it.
I might have to do a double feature now.
It would
Oh,
honestly. I'm when I get off here, I may wind up putting that on social media. That if people want to see a simulated sequel, it's really good.
Mhm.
Brainiac has to be the obvious one you want to see.
That is one I very much do want to see. I think that they could do really cool things with him.
mhm.
Um, beyond that, I will say that I want Doomsday as far the hell away from this
Please,
franchise as
no
possible.
more Death of Superman. I
We have
don't need it.
Yeah,
We're
after the
so
animated
over it.
after the animated
Tiresome.
movie. after the animated movie, you did it. Congratulations. You did it. It's perfect. You're done. I love that story. It's one of my favorite stories in any medium. I've listened to it as an audio drama. I've read the novelization. I've read the
But it's a
comics.
one and done. You don't need
It's
to adapt it
done.
that much.
Like I said, keep Doomsday the hell away from it.
Yeah. I know
If
who I want to see. I want to see Mr. Mystic Pitlick. I'm always saying it
yes,
wrong, but
Well,
I
that would
really
be
want to see him.
fun.
And that seems like a James Gunn character because he loves Batmite.
Oh yeah.
But doing
I've
Mixie, I want to see
You
Mixie.
know, I
someone
know
said
he's kind of like only being willing to bring back actors from the DCU for sometimes but like I would not mind them bringing back Tom Lennon and as Mixie, who since he played a Mixie in the Arrowverse and he was hilarious.
I don't think
oh,
I've
I would
seen
love
him.
that. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. But I don't know. Show me, just do something different. Do
Yeah.
something interesting. And for the
Oh,
love
yeah.
of God, I want Gunn to be the next guy to do the Superman movie
Yeah.
because
He's totally earned my trust with it.
Now,
Not that he
how
didn't have it before, but
no.
so he's been able to do with this film, bring back people's love for Superman,
yeah.
and do you think with it like 3 4 years from now, how he could restore the Justice League brand?
Yes.
I think so. I
Yes.
really want to see the
Yes.
Justice League in this.
I think that'll be
Guaranteed.
really fun.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna
I think
do it.
I think and he would give us like a super fun, super wacky Justice League movie. I could see in this. I think it would be really fun. Is have it be Justice League versus Legion of Doom. So
Yes.
Yeah, I
you
think
can
they
have
could go there.
Lex.
I think another
Like
option they could do is to do Earth 3 and the Crime Syndicate because I
Yeah.
have a feeling that when Ultraman goes into the black hole, he's going one of two places. He's going to Earth 3 or he's going to the Bizarro world. I think those are the two places he's going.
Yeah.
I think
I think so.
I think it would be good for the good for this world to wait a little bit before doing any kind of multiversal stuff. So
Oh, they're not.
No.
Peacemaker's multiverse.
uh, I think but like having like multiverse stuff in like a big way, like a Justice League movie, I feel like it might be a little too soon for that. So I kind of like better the idea of just a Legion of Doom.
I also like the Legion of Doom better.
I mean, I've
Give us a wacky version of Joker or in it. And give us
Yeah, let the Joker
give
be
us
funny again, please.
you can have you could have Sinestro be a part of it. Just like give us like such a fun on like just all out
and
mayhem and Justice League movie.
again, I'm gonna say it again. Just Slim still gets my high recommend. If it's not clear, I'm really a big geek for the direct-to-video animated movies. I really am because I do think they are so good. Also, they're
Oh
short.
yeah.
Yeah, I binged a lot of them during COVID, and it was awesome. It was so much fun.
I did it
I
when my
wish they
first
would
daughter was
release
born.
all of those in theaters. Or
I would go
so
watch.
much fun.
I would go
Under
watch
the-
Justice League Doom. Oh, Under the Red Hood is so good.
Under the Red Hood, well, for one thing, Under the Red Hood is one of the few comics cases where we have it on the record that the writer prefers the movie version because Judd Winnick did, in fact, write the movie version himself.
Cool.
It is his preferred version. Under the Red Hood is gorgeously animated. It's so well made.
Yeah,
If
I
they
love
would
that
get
one.
if they would get some of these movies in theaters, especially the ones, New Frontier is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I love that comic too.
I think you cut off again, Austin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I will say here's another possible villain that I would like to see.
Cut off again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really want to hear this, but it won't let me.
Do the elite. Manchester
Yeah,
Black. I want to see Manchester Black.
I feel like that would be a really fitting thing. Especially like it would have been fitting here too, in this movie with how Superman's reputation is, with everybody preferring him to be evil, and I'm like, no, please don't. He's way better good. But yeah, I feel like that's a character that could really benefit from an adaptation because I feel like that's just so relevant.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's really everything to say for the for this episode.
Same here.
So So real quick before I end this off, I want to say check out check out Tanner and his brothers short film that they're making. There's a trailer up on social media and on YouTube. Nostalgia Bait. And you
Thank
can
you.
check out and you can also just check out Tanner on his Twitter account, and you can also go check out Ty and Geek on Twitter. All right. So thank you for listening. And if you like this gamma analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the films. Please let me know. If you'd like to listen more from me, please subscribe. Many more gamma analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Smash Cherry John, signing off.